Yeah, you heard that right. A father threw his own toddlers, innocent, helpless kids, out of a 15th floor window. On the 31st of January 2024, Zhang, Bo, and Ye were executed via lethal injection. Before we tear this all down piece by piece, if you want to support Trace Zero so we can keep bringing you deeper, long-form investigations, consider joining Trace Circle. You'll get exclusive stickers featuring my face to use in the live chats and comment sections. I'll see you there. Hey Tracers, Sean here again. How's it going, guys? Today, we're diving into a case about a couple who was recently executed in China. And the second the news of their execution broke, it sent shockwaves across the globe. Why? Because what they did a few years ago is honestly just beyond human comprehension. Because you never know how deep this hole goes. So, this couple was just executed in China on the 31st of January 2024 for something they did back in 2020. This is probably one of the most mind-blowing cases I've read about recently, and the exact second I came across it, I knew I had to share it with you guys. It starts with this guy named Zhang Bo. Now, Zhang Bo was actually married and had a family with a woman named Chen Lin. Together, they had 2 kids, both of whom were still just toddlers. Their oldest was a 2-year-old girl, and their youngest was a 1-year-old boy. They were so incredibly young, right at that age where kids are just at their absolute cutest. But you know what's even funnier? Their dad, guys, because he ended up meeting this girl online named Chengchen. He started a whole relationship with her without ever mentioning that he was actually married with 2 kids. So things played out just like your typical affair. He was living a double life, trying to split his time between his girlfriend and his wife, until eventually the girlfriend, Chengchen, found out that Zhang already had a family. But she didn't even care. She was totally fine with it, and they just kept their relationship going. It got to the point where Zhang Bo convinced himself that she was the love of his life, his dream woman, and that she was the only one he wanted to be with. So he went ahead and divorced his wife, Chen Lin, just so he could spend the rest of his life with Ye. Now, after the divorce, Zhang Bo and Chen Lin worked out a custody agreement for their kids. In the end, it was decided that their daughter would live with Chen Lin, while Zhang Bo would raise their son. But here's the catch. He was only supposed to look after the boy until he turned 6, at which point the boy would move in with his mom too. So eventually, custody of both children would go entirely to Chen Lin. But Zhang Bo divorcing his legal wife wasn't even enough to satisfy Ye, and she especially hated the custody arrangement. Because Ye was incredibly manipulative, she saw both of these kids as major roadblocks in her relationship with Zhang Bo, constantly insisting that they would disrupt their future marriage. She made it crystal clear that she didn't want another woman's kids around, viewing them as nothing but a massive burden on her future. And that is exactly why Ye started pressuring Zhang Bo to get rid of his own kids, threatening to call the whole relationship off if he didn't go through with it. By the way, for those of you wanting to grab some official Tracers merch, everything is live right now. We've got hoodies, tank tops, mugs, tumblers, phone cases, and a whole lot more. You can check it out by clicking the link below. It's fully integrated right here into the video. So, in late 2020, specifically on November 2nd, Zhang Bo reached out to his ex-wife, Chen Lin. He told her, "I really miss my daughter. Could you bring her over here so I can see her? Plus, she can hang out and play with her little brother." Since Chen didn't suspect a thing, she brought their daughter over to Zhang Bo's apartment. Later that day, the 2 little kids were happily playing together in the bedroom, right by the window. Moments later, Zhang Bo walked up to them, and without a shred of hesitation, he threw both of his own children out the window. Yeah, you heard that right. A father threw his own toddlers, innocent, helpless kids, out of a 15th floor window. It is completely, utterly insane, but of course he wasn't about to admit to something that monstrous. He claimed he had no idea they had fallen because he was fast asleep. He said he only woke up when he heard the neighbors screaming outside, which was when he supposedly realized what happened. Zhang then rushed downstairs to where his children were, crying hysterically. There's actually a video of this where Zhang is sobbing, wailing, and even slamming his head against the wall in grief. The police arrived to secure the scene, and it didn't take long for their investigation to reveal the horrifying truth. Like, oh my god, this wasn't an accident or a case of parental neglect. This was straight up murder. When they analyzed the video of Zhang wailing and slamming his head against the wall, they realized his entire breakdown was completely staged. Every single bit of it was nothing but a sick, fake performance. Just 9 days after the incident, the police moved in and arrested Zhang, and of course, his girlfriend Ye went down right along with him. As the investigation went deeper, the police uncovered something truly disturbing. It turned out Zhang and Ye had been plotting this horrific crime for 9 whole months. That means Ye started planning this back in February, right after Zhang got divorced. Even worse, she had been whispering in his ear, pressuring him to eliminate his own kids for about a year. They actually spent months brainstorming over video calls and in person trying to figure out the best way to get rid of the children. Eventually, they decided that the easiest solution was to just throw them out of Zhang apartment window. It's absolutely insane, right? They met up several times to discuss this face to face, and when they weren't together, they were constantly using WeChat to map out this vile plan. And you know what, guys? This incredibly cruel and manipulative woman had a pattern. She would deliberately hurt herself and show him the wounds every single time Zhang didn't do what she wanted. It was all a twisted tactic to threaten him. Because of that, Zhang was constantly anxious, terrified that Ye would actually self-harm or end her life. And that's exactly what pushed him over the edge that day. He walked over to his 2 kids while they were playing, picked them up, and threw them right out the window. In July 2021, the first trial for this case took place. The mother of the 2 children, Chengchen, didn't care about financial compensation at all. She was clearly consumed by an overwhelming sense of guilt, constantly haunted by the thought of, what if she hadn't let her daughter go to her father's place that day? But she didn't want any money for herself. She simply told the judge, please give my ex-husband and his girlfriend the absolute maximum penalty. Zhang was crying in court, apologizing for his actions, while Ye repeatedly denied everything, saying, no, I had nothing to do with this, rejecting all charges. On the 28th of December 2021, the court handed down the death penalty to both Zhang and Ye. Right after the verdict, Zhang and Ye offered up all of their assets and immediately filed an appeal. Fast forward to the 6th of April 2023, the second trial was held. And during this trial, Zhang actually retracted his previous confession. He suddenly claimed, I didn't hurt them. Those kids fell from my apartment purely by accident. But on the 11th of May 2023, the High Court firmly ruled that both Zhang and Ye were guilty. The court stated that their motive was utterly despicable and their methods were incredibly cruel. Their death sentences stood until, finally, on the 31st of January 2024, Zhang and Ye were executed via lethal injection. The news of their execution absolutely blew up, with people everywhere resharing the horrific details of what they did. So many people just couldn't wrap their heads around how a father could do this to his own children, or how a girlfriend could be so deeply cruel to innocent little kids. They say love is blind, but in this case, it wasn't just blind, it was completely blinding. Honestly, it's just so heartbreaking. Those 2 innocent little souls had their entire lives ahead of them, only to be taken away by the very person who was supposed to protect them at all costs. If there is any comfort to take from this nightmare, it's that justice was finally served, and those 2 monsters can never hurt anyone ever again. Anyway, I want to know what you guys think about this case. Drop your thoughts in the comments below. If you found this video deep and eye-opening, please give it a thumbs up. Thank you so much for watching. Stay safe out there, and I'll see you in the next video.